The USS Wisconsin, recognized as one of the most formidable battleships ever created, boasted a formidable main battery of 9 16-inch guns, making it impervious to direct hits from enemy ships or fortifications. Having served with distinction in World War II, the ship later engaged in combat during the Korean War against Communist forces in the Pacific. Affectionately known as Big Wisky by its crew, the USS Wisconsin experienced its first post-World War II hit in Korea when struck by a North Korean 155mm artillery shell in Songkin. Despite minimal damage and only 3 sailors sustaining light injuries, the battleship retaliated with a devastating salvo from its 16-inch main battery, obliterating the enemy emplacement and leaving behind craters filled with little more than rubble. As an Iowa-class battleship laid down in January 1941 at the Philadelphia Navy Yard, the USS Wisconsin was part of the Navy's fast battleship design and the third of 4 ships in the Iowa class. Armed with 9 powerful 16-inch guns in 3 turrets, along with 12 5-inch guns, 20 dual-purpose Mark 12 guns, 80 L-60 guns, and 48 Oerlikon anti-aircraft cannons, the battleship was a formidable force. The Mark 7 main battery guns had a range exceeding 20 miles, while the secondary battery could engage targets up to 10 miles away. With armor ranging from 9 to 14.5 inches thick, the USS Wisconsin provided exceptional protection against both land and naval gunfire. Equipped with advanced radar systems such as ANSPS-49 Air Search Radar, ANSPS-67 Surface Search Radar, and ANSPQ-9 Gunfire Control Radar, the battleship demonstrated advanced technological capabilities. Measuring 887 feet in length, with a beam of 108 feet, a draft of 37 feet, and a displacement of 57,540 long tons, the USS Wisconsin possessed a cutting-edge propulsion system enabling speeds exceeding 30 knots, ensuring agility and formidable striking power. Launched in December 1943 and commissioned in April 1944 under the command of Captain Earl E. Stone, Wisconsin underwent training and trials in the Chesapeake Bay before setting sail from Norfolk in July 1944, heading towards the British West Indies. In September of the same year, the battleship transited the Panama Canal and joined the Pacific Fleet in October, engaging in training exercises in Hawaii as it prepared for combat against the Japanese during World War II. During World War II, USS Wisconsin arrived at the Caroline Islands on December 9, 1944, and became part of Admiral William F. Halsey's Third Fleet for the American reconquest of the Philippines. A few days later, the battleship played a crucial role in destroying Japanese facilities at Manila, collaborating with the Third Fleet's fast carrier Task Force 38. Contributing significantly to softening up enemy defenses, Wisconsin's assistance led to the destruction of over 270 Japanese fighters and 27 vessels, establishing air supremacy in the region. However, Task Force 38 faced a setback on December 18 when it encountered Typhoon Cobra, resulting in the loss of over 790 sailors, sinking 3 destroyers, a dozen aircraft, and severely damaging 9 warships. Remarkably, Wisconsin emerged unscathed from the typhoon, enabling it to unleash its firepower against the Japanese during operations in Luzon and Formosa, providing crucial anti-aircraft support to Task Force 38. These operations, lasting into the first weeks of January 1945, inflicted significant losses on the Japanese, including over 40 ships and numerous facilities, diminishing Japanese influence in the Pacific. In February, Wisconsin was assigned to the Fifth Fleet under Admiral Raymond A. Spruance, who had relieved Admiral Halsey. Approaching the shores of Tokyo with Task Force 58 on the 16th, the battleship played a pivotal role in wreaking havoc on Imperial Japanese troops. Task Force 58 destroyed over 320 aircraft, both airborne and on the ground, along with hangars and aircraft facilities around the airfield. Following this, Wisconsin was deployed to Iwo Jima to provide direct fire support for the Marines landing on Japanese home soil on February 19th, marking a turning point in the intensification of the Pacific War. Big Wisky. As the Marines secured beachheads in Iwo Jima, Task Force 58 received orders to once again strike Tokyo and neutralize defenses at Hachino Island. In March 1945, the USS Wisconsin unleashed its formidable main battery on Kyushu, swiftly eliminating ground targets at Okinawa, including well-entrenched artillery emplacements and pillboxes. By June, preparations for the invasion of mainland Japan were underway. The USS Wisconsin continued its relentless assault with its 16-inch guns, targeting oil refineries, storage facilities, and construction buildings, causing widespread destruction in Japan. Despite the inferno that engulfed Japan, the Imperial Army remained defiant, leading to a final devastating air raid over Tokyo on August 13, just before the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Following these historic events, the USS Wisconsin embarked on Operation Magic Carpet, dedicated to repatriating US servicemen who had served in the Pacific Theatre. After fulfilling this mission, the battleship was decommissioned. Throughout its brief but impactful career, it earned 5 battle stars for its actions against the Japanese. However, Big Wisky, as affectionately nicknamed by its sailors, did not remain inactive for long. Another conflict loomed in the Pacific, and Wisconsin stood ready to heed the call of duty. Off to Korea. In June 1950, the sudden invasion by Communist North Korea shook South Korea, compelling the United States and the United Nations to prepare for war against the advancing troops. Responding to General Douglas MacArthur's efforts to recapture the South and stabilize the front, USS Wisconsin was reawakened and recommissioned in March 1951 under the command of Captain Thomas Burroughs. Having completed 2 midshipman training courses, the battleship set course for the Korean Peninsula, ready to face the challenges ahead. By November 1951, Wisconsin reached Japan, assuming the role of flagship for Vice Admiral H.M. Martin, commander of the 7th Fleet, relieving her sister ship, USS New Jersey. Joining Task Force 77, Wisconsin played a crucial role in providing gunfire support for the advancing Republic of Korea troops and the 1st Marine Division in the Kaesong-Kosong region. The battleship's firepower wreaked havoc on enemy tanks, artillery, and bunkers. Notably, during one operation, surrounded Republic of Korea troops from the 1st Corps requested call fire support. Wisconsin responded by launching 3-star shells, illuminating the night sky and enabling friendly soldiers to repel the enemy attack. The ship repeated this tactic when supporting the 11th Republic of Korea forces in Wonsan Harbor, effectively fending off North Korean troops. As operations continued in December, Wisconsin remained committed to assisting UN troops, targeting trenches, bunkers, command posts, and large enemy concentrations in the Kojo region. Following these engagements, the battleship underwent a brief checkup in Sasebo, Japan. Wisconsin's secondary battery proved invaluable in eliminating small enemy craft and clearing coastal defenses. In late December, she embarked on a special tour over the Korean peninsula, accompanied by Cardinal Francis Spellman, to celebrate Christmas and conduct Catholic Mass for UN servicemen. In January 1952, the battleship received a significant honor as South Korean President Syngman Rhee visited, presenting Vice Admiral Martin with the Rock Order of the Military Merit during his stay aboard the ship. Without hesitation, Wisconsin swiftly returned to combat, ready to confront any challenges that lay ahead. Resuming combat operations in late January, Wisconsin continued to provide fire support for Republic of Korea, ROK, divisions, Marines, and UN troops near the coast. These efforts significantly diminished the combat effectiveness of the 15th North Korean Division. In February, the battleship underwent inspection by high-ranking US and ROK military officers, before heading to Songjin to target enemy railway transports. On March 15th, Wisconsin faced its first hit since World War II while destroying a North Korean tunnel and train, leaving some enemy vehicles and troops trapped inside. A fortunate strike from a 155mm gun battery hit the shield of a starboard side 40mm gun mount, lightly injuring 3 sailors and causing minimal damage to the warship. However, this direct hit provoked the USS Wisconsin and its crew. In response, the mighty battleship aimed its 16-inch main battery at the hostile emplacement, unleashing a full salvo that obliterated the artillery piece and everything in its surroundings. Impressed by this display of force, the nearby USS Duncan signaled a message to Wisconsin, humorously stating, "Temper, temper." In April, Wisconsin was relieved by its sister ship Iowa and returned to the US, earning a 6th battle star for its service in Korea. Gulf War. After serving as a training ship and undergoing an overhaul post-Korean War, USS Wisconsin experienced a collision at sea with the destroyer USS Eaton in 1956, resulting in severe damage to both vessels' bows. Repaired using spare parts from the incomplete USS Kentucky, Wisconsin was decommissioned in 1986 as part of President Reagan's 600-ship Navy. Modified with modern equipment for the Gulf War, Wisconsin provided fire support for Allied forces near the Persian Gulf. Even almost 50 years after its development, the battleship's 16-inch guns continued to strike fear among the enemy, decimating facilities and hostile troop concentrations. Wisconsin earned the distinction of being the last battleship in the world to see combat when the Gulf War concluded. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union, USS Wisconsin was retired and transformed into a ship museum in Norfolk, Virginia. Thank you for watching.